back, everyone, to another segment of Dems Don't Look Anything Up, and they just blindly believe everything they're told. Trump denies releasing 5,000 Taliban prisoners, but his administration negotiated for their release. Former President Donald Trump on Monday blamed the inept Afghan government for releasing 5,000 Taliban prisoners last year, even though the Trump administration called for prisoner swaps in an agreement with the Taliban. See, that's what most people just blindly listen to and believe, and then they're good with that, and they don't actually look things up. Key facts. You know what facts are, right? Evidence, actual honesty, truth, you know? Yeah. Trump lashed out against the former Afghan government and ex-president Ashraf Ghani for the prisoner release in a statement issued Monday at around the same time U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken told the House Foreign Affairs Committee the 5,000 prisoners freed last year almost certainly included some known terrorists. You know, like them, exchanging Brittany Greener for the Merchant of Death, or the Taliban from Gitmo and all that went on to lead the Taliban for a soldier that abandoned his post and got other people killed, American soldiers. All right, in reality, a commitment to release up to 5,000 Talibaners. You hear that? In reality. You know what reality is, right? Okay, just checking. But in reality, a commitment to release up to 5,000 Taliban prisoners and 1,000 prisoners from the U.S.-backed Afghan government side was included as a confidence-building move in February 2020 peace agreement inked by the Trump administration and the Taliban in Doha. Okay, so peace in the Middle East. You know, not all this warmongering crap we got going on now. Okay? That's why no new conflicts broke out with Trump. Because he was being a leader. You know, leading. Getting everybody to stop fighting with each other. You know, the endless war in the Middle East? But no, the Dems get in and all that, and look what we're doing. Outbreaks everywhere, being threatened again by everybody. You know, $80 billion in equipment left behind for the in Afghanistan for terrorists. Yeah. Hey, yeah, Trump wants peace. Let's leave him $80 billion worth of military equipment. And I'm sure none of you Biden supporters and everything like that know about the withdrawal of Ukrainian soldiers and everything from a base, leaving behind tanks, RPGs, you know, tons of ammunition, Humvees, all that crap, once again. So, Biden's and the Dems give weapons, American taxpayer money, to somebody, and it ends up in the wrong hands. Again. So, there we go for that one. At the time, Ghani, whose government wasn't a party to the U.S. Taliban deal, told reporters he'd made no commitment to release Taliban prisoners, arguing prisoner swaps should be part of a wider peace settlement between the Taliban and Afghan government instead of precondition. Despite this skepticism, Ghani's government freed thousands of Taliban members, and the government officials agreed to release a final set of prisoners in August 2020. Then Secretary of State Mike Pompeo acknowledged prisoner swaps were controversial, but argued they would clear the way for peace talks between the Taliban and Afghan government last summer, and warned the decision and conduct of both parties to intra-Afghan negotiations will affect the size and scope of future U.S. assistance. So, you know, peace. It was all meant around peace in the Middle East to end their endless war and to get our American troops out of Afghanistan smartly, unlike the complete mess the Biden administration did. Last September, Zalma Khalilzad, who served as U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan reconciliation under the Biden and Trump administration, told the BBC he's not happy about the release, but sometimes you have to make hard decisions. We don't see that with the Democrats. Trump's office did not respond for requests for comment. The inept Afghan government, led by corrupt President Ghani, released 5,000 prisoners, not the Trump administration. Trump said in a Monday afternoon statement, Secretary of State Blinken is doing everything in his power to make the most inept withdrawal in history look at least acceptable. It never will. Trump's deal forced the Afghan government to release 5,000 prisoners and offered international legitimacy to the Taliban. Rep. Gregory Meeks, D. of New York, chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, said ahead of testimony from Blinken on Monday. Last year, Landmark's U.S. Taliban deal was designed to wind down the United States' 20-year presence in Afghanistan at the time of bipartisan war weariness. Trump agreed to pull all U.S. troops from the country by May 2021, and the Taliban promised not to let al-Qaeda use Afghanistan as a base to threaten U.S. security, among other concessions. Trump also pushed to remove all U.S. troops by late December, several months ahead of schedule. In the spring, Biden extended the troop withdrawal deadline to September 11th because they can't do crap right. But backed the decision to leave Afghanistan. So wait a minute. Biden backed Trump's deal idea of withdrawing from Afghanistan. You get that? Arguing the conflict is no longer important to U.S. interests, but the Afghan government crumbled at a rapid pace as the United States withdrew and the Taliban took over the capital city of Kabul last month, forcing the Biden administrations to launch a frantic and often dangerous evacuation mission from Kabul's airport because they gave up the other airport that was secure. You know, Biden has faced stiff criticism for his handling of the withdrawal, including from Trump and his allies, but he insisted a longer U.S. presence in Afghanistan would put American troops at risk, partly because the Taliban expected him to abide by the 2020 agreement with Trump's administration. So it was all done and everything like that because they didn't want to go with Trump's plan. You know, peace in the Middle East, peace around the world and all that. No, we need conflict because guess what? It's big money. It's that simple. Okay? They keep doing it. They arm one person. They arm another person. They arm this person. And then arm. We're literally fueling the wars all over the world and all that with taxpayer money. And we shouldn't be involved in half this crap.